Sure.
Okay, so I'm recording, guys. So
Okay, so I got it. Got it.
I don't
Robert,
wanna
why don't you go
stop.
first and I'll go and then John will be back.
Okay, I like this photo because I'm just kidding.
You see it every time you judge, so you
I
love it.
know. Yes, sir.
Okay. That girl.
Who's that girl? All right.
Hey, it
Okay.
could be Madonna. I for just now had that thought
Yeah,
instead of
exactly.
Barlow Thomas.
Okay. It's cute. I love the wardrobe of one of these current teens nowadays. Hey, even some of the grown-ups, younger grown-ups, wear this kind of attire. I just would have liked a little bit less, a little more cropping on maybe the bottom and some of the top for sure. I like the reflection. Um, what do you call it? I would have loved to, of course, we sometimes lose sharpness in zoom, so I don't know, but I might have wanted this a little sharper. Maker.
Jim Swab scored 17.
Very cute.
Was this spontaneous or was this planned? Anybody know?
No idea.
Oh, okay. I love she's putting makeup on. I think, with the, I don't know if anybody noticed that. I think it's makeup, like lipstick, mascara,
Yeah, lip gloss, probably.
lip gloss. Okay.
Is that what that is? Yeah,
it's the gothic
Yeah.
kind of look.
gothic look. Yeah. At least it's not all black. I mean, some of the kids just totally black.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's got a little color there, but it's a very cute. It's a very cute photo there.
It is.
Yes. I think it would have been more powerful, a little more cropped.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Hugs for the bride.
This is such a sweet picture. The bride is holding these two girls. They look, maybe they're twins, wearing the same dress and the same color hair. And the bride looks so happy. She's just giving them a big hug. It's just a really nice, probably a nice spontaneous wedding photograph. And it just tells a story there. I think maybe cropping it down from the top a little bit might improve the image, but I think it's and also maybe including the shoes. If the camera had been aimed a little bit lower, it would include the feet and the shoes. But the bride's expression says it all, and the two little girls. So this is really another sweet photograph. Who is the maker?
Myself, score of 18.
I think it would have served a little bit wider shot. I'm not a fan of the cropping as far as the edge touching the head of the little girl for sure. I don't know. That's just me. It's cute, no doubt. And I like the way you got down to the eye level of the lady, squatting down.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Good eye.
Virgie Murr.
Hey, John?
This is my turn.
Yes.
I don't even know if I'm on. Okay, am I on?
Yeah.
You're on.
Yes, you're on. You're live.
This is a very interesting shot. I'm into going and taking pictures through rearview mirrors, especially if I'm leaving someplace like Lubbock. But it's the idea of capturing this guy, and I don't know. It looks like he's on a tractor, and I'm trying to figure out, this guy's on a tractor going down a road, and he's that close to the car. He must. I don't know how fast he's going, or is he going at all? I think it's a very nice image. It's very sharp, very well composed. I like the format of the picture. It's kind of I wish it was a little bit closer to the mirror, maybe cropped a little bit more off the bottom and off the top to kind of make it more rectangular, which would have made the image in the mirror larger, so you could really see it. And he might be able to, lighten some shadow so you could see his face, because he looks like he's scared. He's really gripping that steering wheel. but it's a very good shop. I really like it. Who's the maker?
Joanna Valentine, score 17.
Here,
Do we know who that is?
no idea.
Must be a
There
new
were
member.
several newbies. One second.
Yeah.
104, mirror, mirror.
Hey, Robert?
Yes. All right. I think this was shot through one of these crystal balls. It is definitely outside the box, but I do like the fact that you get pretty clear definition of most of the image. You know, what you see is what you get. You've got definite detail there from top to bottom. What do you call it? And you get the whole picture. Granted, you've got the distortion, but you get the story there. You know, you're in a looks like, I guess you would call them Victorian homes. I want to say I dig it. So who is the maker?
Marie Plummer, score of 20, went in and out and came in second place.
Very cute. Interesting.
It's like it's either a gazing ball or one of those parabolic mirrors that you look through so you can see around corners.
Ah,
That's the only thing I could think of. I was thinking maybe a gazing ball
yeah.
sitting on a post somewhere.
Maybe a
You
fish
can
eye.
see the pedestal with the foot down there in the garden, maybe.
Well, I wondered what that was down at the bottom there.
Yeah.
So it's not just a fisheye, is it?
No, it looks like it's a shot taken through a chrome gazing ball.
Oh, yeah. So actually a reflection on the chrome ball.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I had one a few years ago. It was on a red ball, but
Mhm.
I really like this picture. It's very cool.
Yeah, I like it too. One of my favorite from the scoring.
105, field of Texas color.
Golly, well, this is one of my favorite from last night too. Just look at the vibrant color. My goodness. The foreground is the blue and then the fence and a few trees and then the orange and yellows and the pink in the background. It just is so striking. What a beautiful shot. I wish I had been someplace to take a picture like that too. And it looks like it's in pretty good focus, maybe a little bit out of focus as you get toward the background there, but that certainly is not anything that detracts from it. I wonder how many places the maker had to go to find such a beautiful shot. Springtime in Texas. I mean, my goodness, what a great shot. Who is the maker?
John Kane, score of 18.
Yeah, if go up to Brenham and travel down towards the road that goes through Schulenburg.
Oh yeah.
And it's the most color I have ever seen in my life. And
Yeah, that is
bluebonnets,
fantastic.
Weisatz daisies, wine cups, because you can see bluebonnets, wine cups, Weisatz daisies, and fields and fields and fields of Indian paintbrush. I've never seen so much Indian paintbrush in my life
That's what they're known
in
for.
one spot.
Wow.
That's what
Wow.
that color is in the background. Yeah. Great shot.
This is just outside. This is just outside of. I've got two shots. Welcome, Texas, I think.
Great shot, John.
Painterly Hill, 106.
This is a very interesting picture. I do like the texture of the rocks and the sharpness of the rocks, and it's kind of like detailed. And if you look real close, you can see things. I mean, I've seen faces. I see a dog. I see an owl, and just all the different things you can pick out in this, and just the shape of the rocks. Very sharp. I like the composition of it. My only concern was that to me it looks like it's a little over sharpened, but that's I mean it really makes the rocks pop, and then it taking some of the blue out of the sky might have helped also. I think it was just way too dark. Or I don't know if it was taken with a polarizer or not,
Yeah, that's what I was
but it
thinking.
was just a little overdone for my taste. But it's a very good image. I don't even know where it is. It's cool. Who's the maker?
Peter Florsack, score of 20, in and out, came out third.
That's
Where's that,
Peter's
Peter?
backyard.
Yeah, it's Big
Oh,
Ben.
oh. It is, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I love the lines, the dark lines that are in among the, the rocks. They really
Yeah.
provide your eye someplace to kind of go and
If you
follow.
look over here in the bottom left-hand corner, it looks like tire tracks are going up the side of this hill. Somebody tried to climb it with a Jeep or something. That's just, it looks like a little wire car tracks. I saw that and I'm going, but I couldn't see them anywhere else.
Wow.
They kind of lead onto the rocks.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Did you use a polarizing filter, Peter?
No, I replaced this guy.
Oh, okay. Oh, you did. Okay, that's why I was
Yeah.
going to say.
Let's see. Okay. I think Ben Luna is leaving.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
left.
he had a horrible internet connection, he said.
107 ceiling.
All right. This one really captivated me at first. Again, I am thinking it is lacking sharpness. Now, again, I'm wondering if that is because of zoom. I don't know. I would like to see this a little sharper, but I really, really like the composition. I like the tonality of this image as well. It's overall, it's a great image. People may think it's busy. I don't. I can appreciate this very much. Who is the maker?
John Flores, score of 18.
John, talk
I
to me
think
about this, please.
I think it's sharp. It's sharp
Is
at
it
the
sharp
top.
enough? Okay.
Well, I was thinking that last
then
night also, Robert, that it wasn't sharp. But when I looked at it closely, especially right in the middle, those timbers or whatever they are.
The gird, yeah, those gird. Okay,
Yeah,
I can see
steel.
that. I think I'm being distracted by the wood, the roof itself, the wood itself. I'm just looking at that. So my error. I am sorry, John, but I'll say it again. I really dig this shot.
It's I kept looking at it, trying to figure out. I thought it was sharp, and then I look at it and I think it's not sharp, but you got those the rays coming from the lights. This is the roof of our parish church. And it was right after I just got that used Leica that I was telling you all about, and I was taking a test shot with it. And
Okay.
I was
I
going to ask what lens we use.
yeah.
It's a
And
fixed lens.
Well, it looks to me it's sharp at the top and it fades as it gets to the bottom.
The
sharpness falls off when it gets down to those two
it's
skylights on the bottom.
yeah,
left and right.
this is it's a Panasonic LX 100 type camera, right? It's the Leica version of it. So it's but I'd have to go back and look at the metadata. I don't remember exactly focal length when I took this. But it's a zoom.
My other comment is it's not square.
Yeah, and I wasn't I think I'm gonna go back. Funny story. I actually wasn't intending to submit this. It was by accident because I didn't think it was that good, because I wanted it more straight and I wanted it sharper. The architecture is the architecture, so it's just a matter of framing it up right. And this was a little bit of a snapshot. But
I would like to see it in color.
oh yeah, and I do. I took it. I take everything in JPEG and RAW at the same time. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to take the RAW and. But yeah, I was trying out the monochrome on the camera.
Caught my attention, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah, it's a. If you've ever been, this is St. Francis of Assisi Church. It's very beautiful roof structure. It's interesting. The sides of the church are pretty plain, but this roof is just, to me, it's very dynamic.
Wow.
A lot of lines. I like the radial lines, coming up from the middle. It's nice. That's a nice compositional feature.
Thank you.
You don't really notice it until I didn't really notice it until I started looking at it and I see the lights throw you off. I think because that's what is to me threw off the squareness because the light on the right hand side is a little lower than the one on the left hand side. And if they were straighter, I think it would have given a better view of the center.
A little more
Everything
more
feeds
geometric.
into that center skylight. Very cool.
Kill you.
I'll try it again and post it up on the Facebook page.
Nice. All right.
See if I can clean
Yeah,
it.
definitely share it, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Good job.
thank you.
Nice.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Oriental lily.
Hey, John, would you take this one?
Mine? Oh, that must be yours. No, I am a lover of lilies, especially Oriental lilies. And the fact that the raindrops are on it kind of shows some good reflections in the drops. Focusing back on the lily, it looks very good and sharp. These type of lilies just fascinate me because they get the stamen come out the front, everything curls to the back, and it's just kind of very interesting. And the fact that it was wet, I don't know if it's after a rain or if you just made it wet, but it's very cool. Who's maker? I know, but totally anyway.
Steve Manchester, score of 21, first place.
Congrats.
Good job, Steve.
Good job.
Thank you.
Very nice. Steve.
So this was taken a couple of years ago in Michigan. Just after a rain. It really was a rain. I didn't spray it or anything like that. It was just at my mother-in-law's house. That background is just really faded tar paper on the outside of a shed. Just made a nice background. Just had a shallow enough depth of field that blurred it out pretty well.
Yeah, the gray lets that color kind of pop out of there.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
Cool.
Standing by coffee shop.
So why don't I take this one, Robert?
Go ahead, sir.
Well, that's a nice looking duck. I think it's a female mallard. Anyway, very sharp. There's a little light catch in the duck's eye, and the fact that the duck is kind of looking to one side makes it a very nice. I don't know what you call it. A very nice portrait of this duck. Great detail in the feathers. You can see the legs just fine. It's standing on maybe it's a dock or something. A really old weathered wood, and it's nicely centered. It's a great portrait of this duck. Who's the maker?
Jack Smith, score of 19, honorable mention.
Duck Jack.
Is there a bear lurking behind the duck, Jack?
Doesn't look like a bear. Yeah, similar color.
This duck was standing by a coffee shop here in Estes Park. I was here with my family in Thanksgiving time. So I went back to take some more pictures of the duck because they feed them corn.
Oh,
We know they're going to be there.
That's a great portrait of the duck.
You really wanted corn, not coffee.
It even posed for you. My God.
Yeah, it's a nice pose.
All right. Maroon bells covered in snow.
Why don't you start over again, Robert?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. This is a nice little, it's a wide view in my opinion. I'm not going to call it a panoramic. But I love the cloud cover over the mountain there, right in the center. It's a nice little valley view. Everything just leads you up the center. Yeah, it's a beautiful snow-covered monochrome image with the sky that breaks up the monotony of just the grayness, you've got the trees, you got a small fence in the foreground. You just led into this valley of a mountain, towards the back. It's a beautiful image. It's just breathtaking. I can only imagine what it looks in color, but to me, it works very well in monochrome. Who is the maker?
Jack Smith, score of 20, honorable mention.
Great
Nice,
job,
Jack.
Jack. What a great, beautiful
Oh,
winter. And,
yeah.
the exposure is great, you know, with all that
Absolutely.
white.
Nothing's blown out. You see sunlight on the top, but it's not blown out. It's, you know,
I
nicely
don't know if I'd
done.
want to walk down the hill in that snow though.
No, you can't walk down. It was really deep.
Yeah.
I took a snowmobile back there with a tour. I always wondered to see what it looked like covered in snow, and boy, there's a lot of snow there. I'm on a great big mound right here that they lead you to take your pictures.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't, they only give me about 2 minutes and that's it.
Is that a fence right on the right-hand side bottom?
No,
No? Oh, I thought
no,
it
as
was
a matter of fact, they had to cut steps in the snow for us to walk up to this big mound to see the mountain.
okay.
Oh, man.
That's where the lake is.
Oh,
Really?
The lake is right
Yeah.
there, and what you're seeing that looks like a fence. Yes, it is a fence. It's just under snow.
Are you talking about
That's
in
the
the
fence
more?
that protects the walkway protects the lake from the walk because they will not allow people down to the lake anymore.
Oh, I can't even see the right side of my screen because John's face is in the way.
He's moving.
gotcha. That's all right.
You know, you can take that and make it smaller, then move it down in the bottom left-hand corner.
Or you can just minimize it. I got rid of everybody's face.
Okay, I don't want to screw this up and then lose you though. How do I minimize it?
There's a little, like a little dash.
Up at
Yeah.
the top.
It says hide thumbnail video, so I can make you all disappear, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
And I can bring you back later.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
you're
you
gone.
want to.
if you want to.
Oh, right. I see
don't
it
know.
now.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Robert, I couldn't see it.
That's all right. But it is a beautiful image.
That's the only way I can see the screen is to take that and take it down and minimize it.
Yeah.
Capital
Just me.
detail.
Okay, John, would
This
you
one
take?
mine. Yeah. This is I love the detail of this. This looks like the Capitol building. The very ornate, very clear. I like how the brightness on the right fades to the shadow onto the on the right. The light on the left shines shadow on the right. Meaning, anyway, to me it's maybe a little bright, but it really shows the detail in the fixtures that are above the top of the rows of the columns, the little fixtures in between the columns, and all that, and it kind of fades off. It's very nice. To me, it looks a little soft, and I don't know if that's my monitor, that's my eyes, or what. But I mean, if you look at the left-hand side where it's very bright, it looks kind of sharp. And then it slowly gets softer as it fades into the darker shadows. But I don't know if that's just, again, my eyes, my monitor, or if that's the image. But it's a very nice image. I really like it. Who's the maker?
Steve Manchester, score of 18.
Yeah, I had that feeling last night too, John. I was looking at this. I said, "Wow, it didn't look soft to me when I put it in, but I thought it looked a little soft also." But I think it's probably soft just because I've cropped it down quite a bit. The original was much bigger than this, and I've cropped it down enough that it just starts to be a little soft on the edges.
Okay, Steve, is this the
It's
U.S.
not me, then.
Capitol or state capitol?
I'm sorry?
Was this the U.S. Capitol or the state capitol?
It's the U.S. Capitol in Washington,
It's the U.S.
D.C.
Capitol in Washington, D.C.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
that's
in
an
the morning
interesting
with the
crop.
sun coming from the south, which is to the left there, and I just like the detail.
Yeah, it's an interesting crop.
Thank you.
Very well done.
So why don't I'll take this next one, Robert,
Okay,
and then we'll get back in sequence.
sure.
Readers,
Well, this looks like it's in perhaps in a church, where people are reading either perhaps from the Bible or from some other liturgical sort of material. This woman in the front is very sharp. You can see the ruffles in the top that she's wearing there. And her face is quite sharp. Very nice profile shot of her, with her ear and eyes, nose, mouth, chin. Very nice looking, and her hair is so nicely done with that braid. And so the woman in the background is a little out of focus, which is fine. You can see that's done on purpose. She's kind of centered. In fact, maybe a little bit to the right of center. And I think it might have been a better composition with more room to the right, less room to the left, to to give her some room to look into. I think compositionally that would have been better. And perhaps cropping right below the lectern there and bring it up behind her there. But a little more room in front, I think, would be good. It's very sharp, it's nice tonal range. Who is the maker?
John Flores, score of 18.
And that's another, again, I'm trying out this little camera. Yeah, I kind of cropped it to try to put the main reader in the center. And I did the aperture so it would get a little bokeh in the back there. But yeah, I see your point though. I could have moved it over just a smidge to the right and maybe brought it up a little bit to the lectern there. I didn't notice it before, but the phone in her back pocket is kind of distracting to me now that I see it.
I really didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I saw the phone.
Yeah, I think the shot, okay, let me rephrase this. Yes, I would have liked a little more negative space to the front of her and maybe a little cropping in the back. But as far as from her thigh to where the top of her head, to me, that's fine. But just a little more negative space in front of her. Like, obviously she's addressing the crowd. It would have made it a little bit more of an impact statement, so to speak.
Mhm.
Right? But it just, the way she's shot, fantastic.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
my comment as well.
Yeah,
So,
the phone doesn't bother me. I did see it. Doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah, you can see
if you
it
had put her,
clearly.
if you had put her in the third quadrant on the left-hand side, it would have been better, I think. Put
A
her on
little
the
bit
third
better.
line.
Yeah, I was trying to get it more vertical,
Right.
get a kind of a narrow view there. I actually originally cropped it even tighter, both the front and the back, but I wanted to show the lecterns there to kind of give you an idea of, where they were.
Yeah, the lecterns add.
It's a good image. It's be a good image for never mind.
Tells the story for sure.
Yeah, that too.
Photojournalism.
Well, I think it's very
Yeah,
complimentary.
photojournalism, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I was just going to say, I think it's very complimentary of the young woman. It's just
Mhm.
very
Oh, she
nice.
loved it. Yeah. I shared it with both these. They're both teenagers, but they had kind of released. This was a passion play at the church, and so they had kind of released for that. But I'm certainly not selling it. It's just the idea. Pretty happy with the camera. I guess you can tell it's a really cool little camera.
Mr. Leica. All right.
Mr. Leica. I like a Leica.
Am I up?
Okay, Robert, yeah, take it
Yes,
away.
sir.
All right. This is just dynamite, man. I mean, I love the vignetting around the image. It just takes you straight into this primate. I mean, the eyes, the face just captivates me, and my eyes just flow down to his fingertips, his nails, the hair on his arms, the stump he's on. I mean, it just engrosses me in the whole thing. It's a beautiful image. The tonality of this black and white image just captivates. You know how much I love monochrome, and This one really gives my approval with the cat slide in the eye and just that stare. I mean, this is the Mona Lisa in an ape form or what, man? Look at that. I mean, he's looking at me no matter which way angle I'm looking at. I love it. Who's the maker?
Peter Florsek, score of 21, third place.
And look at the format, by the way. I believe it's pretty square, almost.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
square.
Totally
yeah.
square. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Looks
yeah.
like
He has a
me
very
before my
grumpy
coffee.
face.
Yeah.
What's that, Peter?
No, I
So
just
he
said
he has a very grumpy face, man, and he has a Three Stooges haircut.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Peter, what kind of ape is that?
Oh,
What? I'm sorry.
What kind of ape is that?
I have absolutely no idea. It's a picture I took at the zoo in Suriname in South America.
Wow.
is
Wow.
that one of the really old ones that you've gone back and kind of fixed up?
Yeah. It looks like how I feel before my coffee.
Now I gotta ask, was this a Pentax camera?
Oh yeah, of course.
All right. And I don't know if I heard Pentax is releasing a monochrome camera, DSLR.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Yes, they are.
Wow. Okay, but anyway, Pentax camera, beautiful image, Peter. Great job.
Thank you.
Very nice indeed, Peter.
Okay,
Predator.
Golly, well, this one is not only a great shot, it's really creepy.
Mhm.
Yeah, when I saw this one, I thought, wow, this is a creepy photograph. But boy, is it is a really nice monochrome image. So much detail. I mean, you can just spend all day looking at each one of the bits of the chains, like bicycle chains or whatever they are. And somebody pointed out that the teeth are screws.
Mm.
And the light seems to be coming from above, maybe a little bit above to the right, but the contrast is great. There's great tonal range, very sharp. This was my favorite of the ones from last night that we scored. Who's the maker on this one?
John Kane, score of 23, went in and out, came in first place.
Way to go, John.
Thanks,
Good
ladies.
job.
Thanks.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Trish
Yeah,
Stoner.
this is very cool, and he's made out of spare parts out of this guy's shop. You can see the saw that he's a circular saw blade on top. That's a
Mhm,
crown around his head with a hubcap.
Mhm.
His eyes are bolt heads, screws for teeth. I forgot what these little pincher things are, but he's got all these different things. If you look at him, there's a gauge over here on one side. There's a bicycle bell right near the
Mhm.
bottom,
Mhm.
and it's just so cool. And right directly across from this guy was a dragon made out of all the same stuff. My shot of that
Wow.
one did not come out as good as this one.
Me.
I would like to see that. Yeah.
Now, you
It
know why I
handles the
like
tonal
this.
tonal
specimen.
range perfectly.
And then
John, you know why I like this one, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's black and white.
Yes.
because it's the
Well,
best one, Robert, is that why?
Well, no, that and it's fond memories. Remember, I shared that with y'all last night. The bicycle chain,
Oh yeah, yeah.
the
Okay.
high school incident. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that was cool. Oh, somebody else.
It's Trish signing
Oh.
back on.
This
Trish
is
is trying to get you. She keeps sending me the minutes.
So,
Oh,
and with regard to the
She
composition,
sent me a text that looks like it's been typed as like 14 pages or something.
okay. So yeah,
Next.
that was a very cool image.
Oh, good. I like it. The fact that I get this one.
we do.
Spiraling
I
out of
explained-
control.
I explained to everybody last night that, and I know it's a lighthouse. I think I know where it is because I have an identical shot that right now hangs in the photography library in Washington, D.C. And it's a black and white shot looking up to the top of this lighthouse. And it's very sharp. It's sharp all the way through. It's got I love the lines of this thing and the circular thing. The only difference, I thought it was my photo when I first saw it, except for the emergency light that's on the right-hand side of the first level, you can see it underneath that rail. In my image, you can actually see that emergency light. But we had lots of discussion. Is this looking up or looking down? Though this is actually looking up. But it's very cool. One of these days I'll have to find my image and I'll post it somewhere. But who's the maker?
Marie Plummer scored 23, in and out, came out second place.
This is in, I believe, don't hold me to it, St. Augustine, Florida. This is the St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Well, if
Nice.
Marie was here, we could solve the debate.
Yeah, well done. I wish
Right.
she was here. She could add a few comments.
Double trouble.
Back to you, Robert. Or did you just do that last one?
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
John, Robert's turn.
my turn, right?
Yeah.
Obviously split down the middle. I like the concept of this. I would assume it'd be very busy with the same tonality with the rock in the background, but it's pretty distinct if you really look at it. The gator is relatively sharp. I would have definitely loved more of the top of the head and eyes, even though you can probably make out just a slight bit of eye there. Obviously, that can't be helped if the photographer is not in the correct position. I mean, he's in the position he can only be at. But I loved how it's, yeah, some rules are meant to be broken, man. He's right down the middle. And obviously, to me, it works. You've got a composition that's square once again. And those teeth are sharp. He's got lots of detail in there. And the reflection, just you get what you see already. Nicely, it's a very good image, handled very well. Who is the maker?
Myself, score of 18.
Well,
Yeah,
Tammy, it looks like the teeth are the main thing here. And they look sharp and they're
that's
nice,
where the focus is at. Yeah.
nicely contrasted against the dark inner of the mouth there.
I was like, what choppers?
Yeah.
Tammy,
Yes.
was that at the San Antonio Zoo?
It was.
Are you behind glass?
I might have been outside for that one because they have it where you can go outside on part of it.
I think we were behind the glass.
That is
Yeah,
very
that-
good for
That
behind
looks like the glass shot.
Yeah, it's still
Maybe.
behind the glass.
I don't remember.
Kudos to you, girl.
It goes around the corner right there, and there's a flat side of it that you can see from the outside. You see the side of the alligator. But I think this is through the glass.
Real quick, guys. Trish sent me a text. Somebody needs to let her in into the meeting.
She hasn't tried to get in.
Oh,
She
tell her.
did try twice. I let her in twice, but I don't see her anymore.
All right, let me tell her.
I don't either.
Crucifixion.
Okay. Well, I thought this really struck me as being a very emotional image here, monochrome, especially around Easter time. It certainly it's a good exposure. It's nice and sharp. My concern was that it looks like somebody's artwork, and of course that's we don't do that. We don't present somebody else's artwork as our own. It's got to have something else in it, like a person looking at it, or or something like that. So that was my concern on this one. But it's a good photograph of this image. Who's the maker?
Jim Schwab, score of 17.
Nature. And night trees.
Hey,
So
John?
is this mine or Robert's?
Yeah,
Yours,
John.
sir.
Mine? Okay.
Yep.
It's a great picture of a tree. It looks like there's no bark on this tree, but I'm not too sure. I can't say I didn't really like this one, and I can't really tell you why. That one I love. Go back to the tree.
Yeah.
I'm trying, sorry. I didn't intend to move.
No, I don't. I didn't know what kind of tree it was, and that's what I was trying to figure out was what kind of tree it was, because it's has no bark, so I can't tell from the bark, and it looks like there's been woodpeckers into it, but I think the leaves were too dark, and if you have a light section of leaves at the very top, but the bottom as it fades off to go down to the bottom, that means the light's shining on here, but there's no light on anything else in there except those few leaves. I wish you'd raise the shadows a little bit to bring up some more of the leaves to kind of show, are the leaves part of the tree or are they a tree behind the tree trunk? That was, I just had questions because I don't really understand. Is this really nature? Or I guess it is because it's a tree, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really know what to say. It could be
I thought
cropped a
it might
little
be-
bit because it's real long. So it's like almost like you did a panorama from top to bottom to get a very narrow, long image. And I'm sorry, it just looks strange to me. So I mean, it's a great picture. It's good and sharp.
I thought
But I
it,
can't really tell you what to do with it.
I thought it might have been a eucalyptus.
Who's the maker?
John Flores, score of 16.
Where's John?
Yes,
Talk to us, John.
I probably should have entered this into pictorial. I almost wanted to put it into creative. I took this picture at night with an iPhone, and when I looked at it and I cropped it a little bit and I turned it to black and white, it just looked eerie. It's a crepe myrtle. It's a crepe myrtle. One of the trunks of the crepe myrtle is stretching up into the sky there, and it looked like flesh. I mean, it looked like a skin of an alien or something. I don't know. It just looked really weird. So yeah, I didn't know where to put it, and I put it in nature, which might not have been the right thing because you're trying to read it literally, and it's really not supposed to be literal. It's an image, plain and simple.
If it was a crepe myrtle,
Yeah.
I would have done it in color. I love crepe
Trying to
myrtle
get
bark.
color. I wanted to get the starkness of the bare trunk and the eeriness
Because
of
crepe
it.
myrtles have multicolored trunks when they start to peel, and they have reds and greens and browns and all kinds of different colors in it. I mean, my two do anyway. I don't know if they all do that way or not, but it does. Now that you tell me what it is,
Yeah, well, at night you
can
don't see the
I can
color.
see it.
The color, it was
Yeah.
pretty much black and white when I took the picture. But the color balance was off, and I didn't have access to an editor, so I just made it black and white. But it when I saw it, when I see it, actually,
Yeah.
it's at the house where I'm staying right now. I'm at my daughter's house. Like I said, it just had a kind of a surreal kind of a quality to it. The trees, the leaves, some of the leaves are in focus and some of them are blurred, and I don't know. I liked it, but it doesn't matter if anybody else doesn't like it. I had fun with it.
There you go.
I think what you really need to do is go into your app store and download Snapseed. Snapseed is a free app by Google.
Yeah, I'm
that
kind
gives
of
you
familiar. I've
full
tried it.
editing features to it. And I use it all the time on my iPhone. That's the only thing I use on it.
Yeah.
So
It's hard on the screen on the iPhone. I usually just take one of the iPhone quick edits, and when I'm using an iPhone photo, I don't usually bring it into anything else. But I've looked at Snapseed once before when I was first exploring iPhone photography.
well, Snapseed can be a little complicated.
Yeah, well, they all can really. I mean, I was hearing about GIMP, and I tried GIMP quite a few years ago and just couldn't get my head around it. Had enough trouble getting my head around Photoshop. So yeah, and now I'm using Affinity, and Affinity is also another learning curve.
We may need to have an education night on iPhone photography.
Oh yeah, that might be fun.
Arctic Fox kit with breakfast.
Robert?
All right. Okay, first off, I love the warm tone of the whole image here. And if we didn't catch that, look at breakfast in his mouth. Very nice capture here, literally by the fox and the photographer. It is, I would say, if it did not have breakfast in its mouth, this would have been just a stagnant shot, although a beautiful shot. But with breakfast in its mouth, it just takes it up several notches, Beautiful capturing the eyes. You've got some light capture in there. The body is askew. It's not a dead centered look at you. The body, the composition, it's a great capture. The background's blurred. The beautiful warm colors, very well done. Who is the maker?
Marie Plummer, score of 24, first place.
Fantastic, beautiful, well done,
Yeah,
well deserved.
Yeah, great fox. My goodness.
Great image. It was probably the best nature image, I think. I really liked it.
Oh yeah.
Really well done.
I wonder. Remember, she went on that excursion. What did she capture? An armadillo? She was showing us last time. Was that her? Where they had set up some lights? Y'all remember that? Okay, never
I
mind.
don't remember, but I think so.
Yeah, this is cool. All right, I'm done.
Rhinoculus.
Robert, it was a raccoon. I couldn't get
Rhinoculus.
to the mute thing fast
Yeah, it
enough.
was raccoon. That's what it was. It was a
Oh, okay,
raccoon.
okay. Gotcha.
That's right. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, the raccoon.
Where
Well,
is she, by the way? Is she traveling?
I don't know.
Then we could ask her if she was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of nice color here. The orange is just brilliant, and there's some various shades of orange in these three flowers, with a nicely blurred out background, so that the three flowers just are pop off the page here. Now that there's a lot of this is out of focus, and I think it's a shame. That the flower that's on the left has an area that's in focus. You can see some detail in there. I just wish, if that was going to be the main subject, that I wish more of that flower was in focus. I mean, it looks like it's a beautiful flower. It's just a matter of getting it in better focus, and perhaps cropping differently. I don't know what the photographer had in mind here. I mean, one way to do this would be to put it on f/16 and get all three of them in focus, but then of course the background might not be nicely blurred like it is. I think that there's some potential here for this to have been a really pretty photo, but just most of it's out of focus, and it's a shame. I think it would have been better, but it's certainly a great idea. The flowers are beautiful. Who is the maker?
John Kane, score of 17.
That's what you get for shooting with a 23 millimeter at 1.8.
Good grief.
1.8 to take the background out of focus and the people that are in the background out of focus. And when you, 3 flowers in a row, and this is in a field of, I've never seen so much rhinoculus in one place in my life. This is outside of Marble Falls, and they had every color known to man. And if you've never seen a rhinoculus flower, they are related to poppies. And when they're fully open, the center has a glowing eye. And they are gorgeous. And I happen to like this orange color. So anyway,
Yeah, me too.
I don't care if it's out of focus. It's one of my favorite pictures from that day.
Very nice.
Yeah, so the color's great.
After the rain.
Hey, John?
Oh, this is mine.
Yes.
I always love a slow shutter speed waterfall. And you get the good flow of the water. You got a nice shot of water coming down, flowing into a creek or a stream. Good detail in the blur of the water as it moves. Straight line, you got the winds through the middle of the trees, so you can pretty much see where it's going. Well composed, well shot. All in all, very good image. Who's the maker?
Jim Schwab, score of 19, went in and out, came in third.
Dandelion treats.
Robert?
Yes. All right, dandelion treats. Beautiful bear pick or cub. Right down the middle. I love the foreground there. This is little dandelion treats. You've gotten down to the eye level of the cub. Love that. Love how the cub's fur is got debris from the field he's in. You've got catch light in the eye. And if you look long enough, I noticed last night, Zoom kind of like loses focus on the image. So at one moment it looked sharp, and one moment if you waited it didn't. But it is sharp enough in the face. So it is lens fall off there, but you've got it where it counts. It's a very cute and beautiful image. Love it. Who is the maker?
Jack Smith, score of 19, went in and out, came out honorable mention.
Nicely done, Jack.
We've seen this one before, haven't we, Jack?
It looks familiar.
You're muted, Jack.
Yeah, I'm trying to unmute. No, you've seen one similar though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not the one that's been behind you?
Ah.
I think that's the one that's behind the duck.
Maybe. Nicely done, Jack. How far were you?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 50 yards or something. It was a mom and her two little cubs in Canada. Just, I saw them on one side of the highway. I went out the entrance of the park, turned around, went back in. She was on the other side and she was busy eating. And this one just looked up at me and I thought, perfect.
There you go.
Never seen it again.
And I'm assuming, I mean, that's the yellow stuff around his little muzzle.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you might see a little hint of his tongue. I'm not sure. I can't quite tell.
Yes.
Maybe that's just his lip there too. I don't know.
Oh, okay. It's
But
cute.
they love those little dandelions.
Yeah, fantastic. I love it.
Jack, I was just wondering if you consider cropping this one a little bit from the left. You know, you got the cub. I think the cub's face is slightly off center to the left, and then his body to the right. I was just thinking the composition it might be improved with a little bit of cropping from the left.
Yeah, the image is cropped a little bit already, but you're right. Maybe just a tiny little bit more on the left would be even better. It's a little distracting to me to have that little white stem over there,
Yeah.
but you know that's the way it was.
Yep, and
Yeah.
with nature photography, that's the way we do it.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
But I like what Robert said, that he noticed the detail on the cub's fur walking through the brush. There's little pieces and bits all over him.
Yeah, it's perfect, man. It just tells the story. He's in the wild. He's looking around, chowing down, and I love the little yellow tint to his muzzle there.
Yeah.
And it's just so cute. It's just so
Yeah.
cute. It's just a,
Yep. Yep.
Mockingbird.
Okay, John, would you take this one, please?
Sure. It's a mockingbird on top of a tree. That's good. No, it's very good picture. Very sharp, very detailed. If looking off to to his left, get some good negative space for where he's looking. The only thing I'd say is it's very well formatted. I mean, it's nice framing, good shot. I think the sky kind of distracts a little bit because it's so bright. Maybe a vignette would help it focus more on the bird and the tree and take away some of the light. That was my only comment to this. It's a very good image. And I'm assuming this is Steve's.
Yeah, yes, thanks, John.
You are correct. Score of 17.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was concerned about when I entered it, but I thought I really liked it. I liked that it was so sharp and you could see the detail in the feathers and maybe
Oh, yeah.
a little catch in the eye, maybe if you use your imagination. The beak is sharp.
I think a vignette would focus your eye on that. I was a little distracted because of all the white around it, but I mean, it's still a great image on its own.
Thank you. But that's a good suggestion to vignette it. I'll have to try that and see how it looks.
Sleeping fox.
Okay, why don't I take this one? Well, there's sure a lot of great detail. It's a wild animal. It's sleeping on this ledge of stone, which is kind of interesting. There's great, a lot of great detail. You can see the fur, the color, the ears are all sharp, the feet, the tail. It makes me wonder where this fox is hanging out, that he's available for somebody to take a picture of him like that. Oh, and the whiskers are really cool in this one. So anyway, it's a great nature photograph of this wild animal that's just happened to be taken maybe. So who's the maker?
Peter Florsack, score of 20, second place.
Nice.
Peter.
Where did you find
Yes.
this?
It's the Texas Zoo in Victoria.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's the same one where I got all the raccoons last month.
Yeah.
It's an interesting zoo. It's a kid's zoo, but it's
They have a nice peacock there too. Remember, Peter?
they have a wonderful peacock. Yeah, very friendly too.
After the rain.
Yeah, Robert, why don't we start with you again?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, after the rain, I love the raindrops coming off the petal of this beautiful flower. Definitely. Okay, what was that?
Ooh, what was that?
Is there a line on the flower that appeared?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, that's weird. Anyways,
Yeah.
I can see the focus on the raindrops. I just I would have liked the flower to be a little sharper. I think we could have cropped up some of the negative space of the composition here to make it a stronger image. But aside from that, it's got beautiful contrasting colors. Who is the maker?
Myself, score of 18.
And what's with the line? Where'd that come from?
It wasn't there a minute ago. I have
I know.
no idea.
Just showed up.
There was a little square that said Trish Stone, and then all of a sudden the line came up.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Did
Yeah,
she
that's
draw
weird.
on your picture?
Yeah,
I
really.
probably did. I probably did. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm on the phone and this Zoom thing is completely different on my phone.
Oh boy!
So yeah, I
Well-
think you can actually draw and stuff. I was just
Well, Trish, stop
Just
drawing
make
on
sure y'all knew
people's
I was
pictures.
here.
Yeah, you're
I should have drawn
defacing
a
other
funny face
people's
or
art.
something.
That's funny.
You
I think
ruined
that
a
was me
perfectly good
swiping my
picture. You
finger
can't print it
across
now.
So
Well, I
Trish,
certainly
you
agree,
just
Pete.
sabotaged Tammy's picture. Is that the
I
deal?
think I did. Yeah, I did. Fortunately, she was scored already, you know?
Oh, well, you didn't know any better, I guess.
Well, I certainly.
No, yeah. Yeah, I
I
think I
think-
was just trying to swipe the screen and there you go.
I
Trim your
think
nails.
I agree with the recommendation of cropping from the upper left down toward the for the flower to eliminate some of the green background there. And it looks like the main thing are the droplets on the petals, and it's really pretty. I mean, they really stand out. They're sharp. They are refracting the light to give that look that only droplets can do, and it's very eye attracting there.
I think it's one of the things about square pictures, especially of flowers, is that you can't really go by the rule of thirds on a flower in a square picture. It kind of distracts from the flower. Flowers should really be in the center. So bringing the down from the other side, that corner down, would have made it the flower centered, would have made the flower really pop out better. But it's, you know, I like the water drops on it. Those are always cool. See, now we got a red line through this too.
Oh no,
Oh,
we're stuck with the red line.
Yep,
Really?
yep.
Yep, still got a red
Well,
line.
I don't know if that was me, honestly, because I don't know how I could do
Oh, I
that.
think it was you.
I don't know. I
It
could,
had to be you. You're the only one with
It had to
the
be
ability.
you.
And the line had your name on it.
Yeah, it did, just for a moment.
ah,
All right. I guess this is my turn.
yep,
I think-
Denver
oh.
train station.
I was thinking it was mine, but
I looked at this picture and I'm going, is this a real train station or is this a model? It's, I know it's got to be a real train station somewhere. But if to me, I looked at the top, this archway that goes across the top that kind of gives you that view and draws your view into the Union Station building. It looks like it's made out of plastic and it's all glued together like a model would be. But then I think the picture itself is great. I love the lines going down through the center and then each side, and you got the archway on top with the more lines, and you got buildings in the background. My only comment has to go with back to how different scenes work by lines and angles. Is that the curve of this top draws your eye automatically to the Union Station sign. To me, I think the focus is the curve and the lines in the center of the station, not necessarily the top. If it was cropped from the top left down to about the top of that curve right there and showed the Union Station and the bottom of the curve and the top, a little bit of the top, your eyes could be drawn more towards the center where the focus of the picture. Other than that, if that was the focus of the picture, take the Union Station building out. I know it shows context where the picture was taken. It's very distracting. And I forgot what that stupid circle is called, but it's one of the focal points in paintings. And it was developed a long time ago. We actually had a class on, some guy came in and talked to us about it, that do this circle on the side, that's your main focal point. And that's to me, it was very distracting. I'm not too sure how to fix it. But
good night, Mark.
it depends on what you were trying to show.
I like all the curves from the top. I mean, I see the pipes, the curve along with the main curve that encircles Union Station, and then the curve down the middle of that, the main truss, and then the curves of this, what is it, of the platform below that awning. Well, I think it's an awning, that it's kind of tubular. It's just lots of curves, and then it's just, then you got your leading lines. I just dig it all around. It has my eyeballs going in circles here. And at this stage, right now that I'm on the verge of vertical, that's not a good thing, but it's fun.
Yeah, I love the composition. I think the composition is great.
It's
And it
just
looks like
different.
this.
All right, I'll
Yes.
keep my mouth shut. Who's the maker?
It's good. No, it's just
No,
it's a
no,
matter
no.
of opinion.
Yeah, it's
No, no.
everybody's got their, it's good. It's good. We all,
I appreciate your thought on that, John, because
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking that way.
I love your opinion,
But
John.
you've
Don't
given
get me
me a different
wrong.
idea about this. but I think this curve, the close curve, is just a mirror. It's just the same thing as the distant curve. You know, like there's a curve that goes all the way around. You know, if it was a little more showing on the right, I think that line would be continuous along it. I've never been to the Denver train station, so I'm speculating a little bit, but I think they're the same thing, just at opposite ends.
To be honest, I see your point, John, and it's definitely valid. I see your point as well.
And I mean, it's there. I have this thing that I put on the back of my phone, and on my back of my camera, that shows an overlay of different things. So there's different points of view of lines and how to direct people to different spots.
Yeah, Kimmy's got that. That guy came on that.
Is that when that guy came to lecture?
Yeah, that curve is one of those things. I have that curve on the back of my camera. So and that's the focal point of the picture that you put at the end of that curve, because that's how the eyes flow. You wanted to take the flow that way. And I see your point too about flowing that way towards the center of the picture. But it just, to me, the first thing I saw in this picture was the Union Station sign.
Yeah.
And I didn't figure that was the focal point.
Did you get that little thing from the guy that came to lecture to us one time
Yep.
I lost my little overlay, man. I wish I still had one.
I still have them.
Yeah,
I can print you a new one.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
I just got to find the film.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So the maker was Marie Plummer, score of 20, rescore of 18, and came out honorable mention.
All right. Ignore the red line, people.
Chinatown.
All right. Chinatown. Definitely a travel picture. We don't have a Chinatown here in San Antonio. I like the image. You guys know I like street photography. The context is there, but it you know, being I guess I can call myself a street photographer. I don't know. It just does not leap out and capture my attention, even though it's got the elements. I don't know what it's missing to my eye. But technically it's got everything it should. It just doesn't capture my attention. Now, it may be that, I don't know if it's lacking sharpness. I'm looking at the gentleman's face. The first thing I look at is him with the cigarette in his mouth. I don't think he's very much in focus. Sorry. Oh, I missed something. What? Did somebody say something?
I heard something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, really.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway,
Trish.
I'm here.
It was Trish.
Yeah, it was me. Me and my magic pen were talking.
But you know, nonetheless, it is a good photo. I just wish it was sharper for sure. Who is the maker?
Joanna Valentine, score 17.
Okay. Anybody else has comments, please? I
It does look like the subject is this Oriental gentleman with a cigarette in his mouth. It looks like perhaps he's a vendor selling the fruit that's in front of him. You know, so that, I mean, the oranges, the grapes, they're there. And then the rest of it, I think, is context. It shows, you know, where he is. He's on the street. He's a street vendor, perhaps, and there's a lot of traffic. There's people walking by, and it kind of tells a story.
I think so, but I think because he's not sharper in focus, I think I get lost with the people behind him. Granted, they're not in focus as well, but since he's not super sharp, I get lost with everybody, I think. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
No, Robert.
I think,
Robert, from my perspective, the fruit is all really sharp, and it just would have been a little nicer if he'd been a little sharper. And the only other thing that's a distraction, I might have tried to crop it like right above the clock or something, just to eliminate a lot of that. Otherwise, it's pretty cool.
I think that it's, to me, it's to kind of the sign in the background, if they had cropped it down a little bit more to like the black line of it, right above the
Mhm.
clock,
Yeah.
like Jack says, would be better. But what got me was the fact that it looks skewed. I can't say it's not straight, because if you look at the pole that goes through the clock, that's almost fairly straight. It could be a little straighter, but if it looks like it's on a street that's going downhill,
Yeah.
because the pole
I
on
agree.
the other side of the street is crooked.
I agree. That's the
Yes.
first, for me, John, I felt like that was one of the first things I noticed. It seemed like it was tilted a little toward the right, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah,
the first thing
that's one of
that's
the
the
first
first
things
thing.
I saw. And then secondly, I saw what Robert saw. I felt like the face was just a little soft. I think cropping this down, straightening it up a little bit, and that face being a little more in focus, I think would have been a better image. I think it's a great story. I
Yeah.
think it's a wonderful street image, but it's got a few little tweaks that I think that would really kick it up a notch.
It would be a lot stronger if those things were addressed. I agree.
Yes, 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 I agree. But I think the basic
The
idea
focus issue is
is
probably a
solid.
lens fall off, but
And I
the
think
lens
with
fall
the
off on
soft,
the orange, like Jack said, the oranges are very sharp, but it gets
Right.
blurrier as it goes back. So
Right.
his face is right at that edge of not quite sharp, but not quite blurry. So it's
Exactly.
The
depends on what
autofocus
the F
picked
stuff
the,
was, you know.
I think
yeah,
with
the
the software that's
autofocus picked the
available,
limb, picked the oranges.
Yep.
with the
Yeah.
software that's available these days, this face could have been brightened a little bit all by itself. I think that might have made it work better also.
I
This
agree,
is gonna
Steve.
this is gonna sound silly, but you know what distracts me, Robert?
What's that?
Is the back of the dolly is right there at his shoulder, and
Okay.
all of a sudden he's not there. He's. I keep seeing that. I think I
Yeah.
would have photoshopped out that little bit, and then, like y'all are saying, I think crop it in a little tighter. But the
Yep.
color range is great.
Yeah.
If this was an old black and white photo, you know, you would lose the colors, but I think the softness of his face wouldn't matter. The
Exactly.
fact that you've got those sharp colors that it messes it up. And then, like I said, that's just that little detail right there to me spoils the shot. That dolly in the background there.
You
Of
got
course,
it.
remember that
Definitely
it's
limit
it's travel. The category is travel, and you're not allowed to Photoshop in or out objects.
Yeah, pieces. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's
Pardon me.
then they need to go back and take the picture of.
The dolly needs to be cropped out of the picture. Just a tighter crop in on him, and a brightening of the face would have made it a terrific picture.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and eliminate that creepy red scratch line there.
Only
Trish
when
was
Trish
here.
Yeah.
All right. Was
Edna
that
G.
was-
Oh,
was
wait,
that
who
you,
was the
Robert?
maker?
That last one?
This one's Steve. The next one's Steve.
Joanna, yeah, Joanna Valentine, score 17.
Okay.
All right. So I
Edna
think-
G.
I think this one's mine, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, this looks like a tugboat in some body of water, except that usually on tugboats in the front, it's all padded with things. So maybe it's not a tugboat, just a boat with some other purpose. It's very sharp. The colors are great. The yellow, the red, contrasted against the kind of the dull gray of the water, makes it stand out. Although there is some red in the background, which takes away from that a little bit. I think it would be interesting to know more about this, and we'll wait and see what the maker says. But it's a great picture of this boat, and it really pops with this great color. And the boat has such nice smooth lines to it, such nice gentle curves. Who is the maker?
Jim Swab, score of 18.
Trumpet riff.
This one's mine, huh? This image I was hemming and hawing on because I love the image. This is another one of those street pictures showing musicians playing. I don't know if it was just overexposed or was this specifically done that way to be overexposed, to be a type of overexposure of the image to make the two guys stand out. But I love the details in the sweaters, the guy's shirt, the jeans, and the light off the instruments. I think it might have been toned down a little bit by taking down some of the highlights, but I don't know if they do that. What that would I would have to see what the highlights down look like versus going back into, excuse me, taking it back up to being an overexposure, uh, on purpose or not. It's still a great image. I really like it. The details are just great. And the guy that in the playing the trombone, it looks like he's watching the trumpet player to see what his next move is. I can't tell because his mouth looks like it's open, so he's not playing, but he's about to play. So a trombone mouthpiece is really big, and being a trumpet player, I know what it takes to blow through one. So it's just kind of interesting that he's just watching that trumpet player waiting for his turn to jump in, I think. But anyway, it's a great picture. Who's the maker?
John Flores, score of 19.
And maybe this is
I
a
really
little
like this one, John.
jazz ensemble on the street. But I think it's a great idea. Both of these guys are very interesting looking characters.
Yeah, and that's why I named it Riff. And the trumpet player was just kind of off on his own, like jazz musicians do. And the trombone, like you said, John, he's waiting to see where he's going with it and when he's going to jump in.
Yeah.
So you got
Well,
that
that's what happened
pause.
yeah.
And I like the tension there, but the detail on on the trumpet player's cheeks, I thought was I had fun with that. It's like, wow, that's really
He resembles Dizzy Gillespie.
Yeah, he's got the kind of blowout kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like the treatment on this, definitely.
Yeah.
Welcome, Texas.
Welcome, Texas. Okay. Very picturesque, very postcard-ish. Beautiful scenic shot. I like the image. It's handled very well. I even thought perhaps we could amp up the saturation on the greens, perhaps. I don't know. I like the skies. This is handled very nicely. I think maybe a little. I think they call it is it structure or what is it? Clarity. Could amp it up just a little bit, but as is, I do like it. It's handled well. I love the composition. It's handled tremendously. Who is the maker?
John Kane, score of 18.
I love images like this. I always like in the old homes, I would always look for a beautiful ornate weather vane if possible, I miss those things. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Go ahead.
If I boosted the saturation, I actually desaturated it a little bit because the paintbrush and the blue bonnets, when you start raising the saturation, get really overblown. If I raise the greens, then that takes away from the blue bonnets and the paintbrush. Because of the house, the color of the house, I desaturated the foreground and left the sky alone. So, but yeah, this is one of the 4 buildings in Welcome, Texas.
4?
If you've ever been to Welcome, Texas.
Wow. Did you say 4?
4.
Wow.
That includes the post office bar and something else, a general store. Yeah.
Holy cow. Okay.
You know what's amazing?
Sure, if it'd been a Texas flag.
I mean,
the
this
U.S. flag is cool enough.
Yeah, there's 700 people there. So.
Oh, okay.
And only 4 buildings?
Well, yeah. They're all farmers.
Oh.
that whole area is full of, I mean, if you want to see longhorns, I've got lots of pictures of longhorns that I took from that stretch of road and the back roads. It's only 2-lane highway at 70 miles an hour, and you see what you can and what you watch for people who are stopped.
Oh,
You
okay.
look when you go by and you see color everywhere. I took a longhorn standing in the middle of bluebonnets. I took a longhorn standing in the middle of paintbrush. I took a longhorn by the fence. Susie thought I was dancing with one of them because that was the most friendliest longhorn I've ever seen in my life. What he wanted was for me to get the flies off the top of his head.
Oh,
He was a black longhorn that had as many flies on top of him. I think maybe he was colored black because of all the flies.
oh my God.
So I don't know. But that's a cool stretch of road through there.
Wow.
You
Very
notice how my red pen mark goes right along those wheel tracks?
I know. I thought so too.
I thought
That's
there was the
fortuitous.
streak of the pickup truck driving through real fast.
That's what it is. Those are brake lights, man.
Tail lights right through there. On a long exposure.
Funny. All right.
35 Whacker Drive.
All right, I think it would be my turn, but let's have John do this.
All right.
Okay. I know where Whacker Drive is and I know who did it. But this is kind of a very cool image. And I like the lines of this building. I kind of wish it was more, if it stood a little bit more to your right so that you were like on that center column and bring in more of the bottom of it. I mean, that is the Wacker building is kind of really cool. And it is the shape of it. It reminds me of a building in Dallas. At nighttime, the shadows add to the reflection of the lights coming out of the building. In Dallas building it's all glass. So when you look at it the way it's built, in between all of these, you can see the lines of the floor and they cross. So you get all these little crosses. This building is, I mean, Chicago has fantastic buildings to take pictures of. And this is one of them. I have a picture of it, but not this good. This is a fantastic image. It's very sharp, very detailed. I like how it goes up into the sky. I just wish you could see a little bit more of that bottom right-hand corner. But no, I believe this is probably another one of them Steve Manchester pictures from Chicago.
It is from
Correct.
Steve. Score of 20, rescore of 22, came in second place.
It's
Very
beautiful.
nice.
Well
I like-
deserved, Steve.
Yeah, I like the way you frame it with two other buildings,
Mm-hmm.
and the clouds really set it apart.
Oh, it does,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the clouds.
Yeah, well done, Steve.
Thank you. So this is a cell phone picture
Wow.
that I edited.
Oh wow.
I edited it in the computer.
That's it. Disqualified.
Terrific.
Yeah.
I'm
So
kidding.
that's what that's I mean I sharpened it up that way, and I was surprised that the clouds look that way, that they stayed looking that way, that they are so good looking, but it just
Yeah,
kind of happened.
Well done, man. I
it's
like
terrific. Yeah, me
it. It really
too.
speaks.
So why don't I take this next
Okay.
one with
Go
the
right ahead, sir.
snow?
Steamboat Springs, Colorado in December.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I was wondering if it was Vail up there. I've driven through some of those places, but never stopped. But this is just a beautiful winter composition here, with the snow on the roofs and the snow golly everywhere on the trees, on these beautiful evergreen trees that taper upward to a point. Golly, and all the way back to that to the chalet, maybe up on that little rise in the background. The sky is gray, just like winter ought to be. And I think I like the composition mostly. I'm not sure how to explain why I like it. There's this building on the right. Perhaps something else could be done with that, but I don't think it's really that distracting, because the main thing is I think your eye is kind of drawn to the two buildings on the right, and then building farther on the left, and then finally to that building in the distance there that's kind of dark, but it has snow on the rooftops. And yeah, it's like a ski village in the wintertime in Colorado. Yeah, it looks really nice. Who's the maker?
Jack Smith, score of 20, rescore of 21, came in third place.
Well done, Jack.
We need a guy trip to go up to Colorado in the wintertime to take
Yes.
pictures of snow.
Yeah, wouldn't that be
There you
Because
go.
there is no way in hell I am going to get Susie into Colorado with snow on the ground. I love Colorado in the wintertime.
I don't think Jack's gonna let us be in his pickup truck all huddled together.
No, no, you're on your own in your chant.
Now that's Charlie.
There you go.
This happened to be Christmas time, December picture. My family flew into Denver, and we were supposed to fly into Steamboat, but it was snowing so hard they couldn't fly in, and they couldn't figure out how to get us there. And they finally chartered a bus, and then we went in the dark, so I couldn't take pictures. And this is what I woke up to the next morning from the hotel room, with the plow and the dumpster over there for him to put the snow into.
Wow. Gorgeous.
Talking about art.
Is this me?
Whose turn is it?
John?
John?
Is it my turn?
Yes.
This is the picture I told you guys last night that looks like my brother.
Yes.
Which one?
The guy standing here with the white hair and the beard, it could be my brother. If he just turned this way a little bit, he's got the same profile, same hair, same beard, same glasses, and he's also a painter. So I don't know if this guy here is the seller or if he is the buyer, or the guy with the little beanie fast hat is the seller. But it's a great picture. I love the artwork. I love the desaturation of the background, the blurriness of the background, the assignment thing. I think that's pretty cool. There you go. And I really like the red line that goes through the middle, and it kind of highlights the roses on the left, and the picture on the right, and the girls at the top. But this is a really great image, and I thought about taking this picture and saving it and sending it to my brother, because he's also a painter, and he's a very good painter, as a matter of fact. But I really like this, and I just need to know where this was at. So who's the maker?
Peter Florsack, score of
Peter
23, first place.
I kind of figured
Peter,
it was
this
Peter's.
is stunning. I love even the shadows. I like that little bit more negative space on the left. Everything about this screams story. There isn't one thing I don't like about this image, except for maybe my red line through the middle of it. But it almost comes across like a painting, and I think that's due to the desaturation in the background, which I think is super effective. But yeah, I think this is just really a fantastic image.
Well, this is
Very good.
January. This
What's
is
interesting-
January in Armenia, and it's probably 30 degrees out there, but these folks are all used to it. I took it with my Pentax camera 20 years ago, and the atmosphere just actually looked like this. There's really no manipulation, other than brightening and sharpening, and it just snowed just a few days before, so
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So is this morning?
this is morning. Yeah, very early morning.
So is
Yeah,
that
it looks-
morning haze?
That's haze, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Well, Peter, look, the sun. Look at the sun.
It's
coming-
really effective.
The sun is coming from behind these paintings, and yet the fronts of the paintings are well exposed. How did you do that?
Lightroom,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
bring
know,
those
you-
shadows up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing what the new Lightroom will do.
That's
Excellent
just really
job.
terrific. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Very nice.
So do
So
you
I'm
know?
not sure, John, if your brother is Armenian, but
Oh no, he's not. He's from Big Spring.
okay. So he might not appreciate that part.
I think we are Russian German. So
Well, there you go. That's close.
Close enough. Peter,
that's close. Yeah.
which one is
Yes.
the artist?
Russian.
The guy on the right.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Out of curiosity, sorry.
And those paintings were probably $5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
20 years ago, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my wife worked there with Doctors Without Borders for a year, and I came to visit her.
Excellent. Fantastic, my friend.
Mhm.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
All right. Hiking in snow.
All right. Love it. I believe the category is a silhouette, correct?
Silhouette.
Silhouette, yeah.
Silhouette. Okay, well, this is an Indiana Jones silhouette style. What can you say? I've got to say the hat, the camera, the snow, and I think I see at the very edge, if that's not a vignette, that might be just the edging of a bear. That's got to be Jack. It's a beautiful silhouette shot. Who is the maker?
Jack Smith, score of 16.
Ah, Jack.
I can tell it's you, Jack.
Yes, sir. Bundled up, nice and warm.
That hat gave it away, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just that hat.
Just Jack.
Backhoe silhouette.
Well, John, looks like you got to take this one too.
Okay. No, that's okay. I like this one. No, this is a great silhouette of a backhoe, and I love how I'm assuming it's a sunset, not a sunrise, that with the oranges and the yellows really make it the shadow or the silhouette of the tractor pop. And the lines of the tractor are very sharp. Some of the details in the background, the trees, the poles, they're also very sharp. It's just, I think the color of the sky really makes this image. So, I mean, I can't see anything to do with it. There's a little bit of maybe take off some of the foreground a little, but I wouldn't do that either because it still bleeds into the tractor and the silhouette of the backhoe. So it's a very cool image. Who's the maker, Steve?
Steve Manchester, score of 18.
Yeah, I saw this. I was going someplace and I saw it, and I came back right at the right time. The sun was going down, the sky was bright, and I took several pictures of it. And then I did increase the saturation of the sky in the background, sharpened up the the image, and really blackened everything, so that there wouldn't be any detail in the silhouette. So there it is.
I like it.
Thank you.
Chapel at sunset.
So why don't I take this one?
Yes, sir.
Pardon?
Go ahead.
No, I really love the composition here. With the church dark, you can still see some detail. You can see the roof, and you can see some other features of it. With the cross and the spire silhouetted against the bright sky, evening or morning, one or the other. And it's off to the right, and the left side sky has those branches of a tree with all those things that they call fungus balls that are not fungus, but I think it fulfills the category nicely. It's certainly silhouetted against the sky, which is bright. It's a great subject. I think it's very well done. Who's the maker?
John Flores, score of 19, honorable mention.
Mhm.
Well done, John.
I like the way
Yeah,
you
that-
still have a lot of detail in there.
Right, yeah, where you get that silhouette, but you haven't lost any, that front detail.
Yeah, I was debating whether or not to try to do a little Photoshop and bring that's right out of the camera.
Wow.
I I think I may have cropped just a little bit, but yeah, that's right out of the camera, and it's from the iPhone. It's the only
Wow,
thing I had with me at the time.
Yeah, that's great.
man, I was ready to give that Leica some props on this one.
Flying Pelican.
Okay, I think this is me.
Mine,
Yes,
this one mine.
yes. Robert.
All right.
Uh,
Pelican. Okay, first
Yeah.
off, the composition, edge to edge, corner to corner. I dig the composition right off the bat. You just have, you know, you're right on the cusp of it being a silhouette, you know. But I'll give it the benefit of the doubt on this one. You do have enough detail there. It's just dark enough at the wingspans. I would have liked it a little darker, and for the background to give it a little, you know, highlight to really kick in. It's handled well. Again, if it were darker, I think it'd make a better silhouette, but I think it's, as shot, it's a little soft. But the key thing we're talking about is a silhouette. So who is the maker here?
Peter Florsack, score of 20, in and out, came in second.
Nice, nicely handled. I do like the wingspan corner to corner, and the
Mhm, me
clouds,
too.
my God, gorgeous.
Composition is beautiful.
It's definitely cropped.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And although we did talk about what the definition of a silhouette is last night as between the judges, and we you know, strictly speaking, you know, perhaps a silhouette shouldn't have any detail in it. It should be black against a bright background. But I don't know. We came up with different definitions of silhouette, and since it's assignment, and assignments don't have to be well defined, they can be, you know, open to some imagination and interpretation. So I think I like the detail in this. I think it really makes the photo.
I think it had enough to qualify as well.
Theater seats.
Well, this is interesting. It looks like the round things sticking up are the place where you put your cup of Coke while you're watching the movie. But it looks like they've been swung upward so that the people that clean up the popcorn after the movie can sweep easier. So what we got is kind of highlights on the edges of the seats, highlights around the circular cup holder there, and it's mostly symmetrical. And it's the main thing about it is really catches your eye. It just draws you in. And it's a very creative idea to see this, the photographer to see this, and then to make the image and then present it in this way. I think it's very well done. Who's the maker?
John Kane, score of 20, in and out, came out third.
Now this is the one that started the silhouette discussion.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is actually taken in the AT&T Center in the nosebleed section, and I am in the very last row at the very top, looking down on the rodeo. So I took this with my phone.
So it's not a theater after all.
No, they're still stadium seats, but they're not very comfortable seats. Most theaters have recliners now, man.
Yeah, but the nosebleed, they figure you're up there and you're going to have oxygen deprivation anyway.
Well, it's kind of hard to take pictures from way up there anyway. And I was trying to, do something. Working with my grandkid, he was sitting next to me going, I can't see.
What were y'all at?
Gotta bring some binoculars.
Yeah, just break out the iPhone, hand it to them, let them start taking pictures. So that's what they did. I was playing with this one. I just wanted to see what this would look like. So
Guanano silhouette. Waco, I don't know. Something.
this one mine.
Yeah.
This is this is an excellent picture. I mean, it's a llama sitting on top of a mountain with a mountain in the background, and it's just kind of it's very interesting. And it's the fact that I don't know if the other two guys saw it enough. There's a double rainbow there, and then one of the rainbow comes right off the top of the llama's head, and the other one's off to the left. But then there's they got the red line cutting him off at his feet, but still, it's this
Adds to the
perfect
rainbow.
silhouette. I mean, it's still a rainbow. I mean, it's just you can see that it's. I don't know if it's a llama or if it's an alpaca. I'm not sure, but you can still see it's that type of animal. Lives in the mountains. You can see the fur. I mean, you can see the edges of the fur. It's so sharp. It's so detailed, and the mountain in the background is perfectly clear. I mean, the edges of the rocks in the foreground are perfectly sharp and clear. It's just a well composed image, and it's a great photograph. Who's the maker?
Marie Plummer, score of 22, first place.
Yeah,
I was going to say Patrick Murray, but I guess not.
I thought it was Patrick Murray too.
Me too.
Yeah, I was chuckling last night when y'all were saying that.
I think because you were thinking of the animal and where you would find that. But
Yeah.
Marie was just recently in Chile, so this may have been taken
Yeah.
there.
Mm,
Yeah, I think it's a terrific image.
yeah, fantastic.
Where is she right now, Trish?
She was on her way to Galveston. She was gonna go shooting birds tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a great photo.
yeah, it's a terrific photo.
Umbrella.
Umbrella.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this really intrigues me. You know, me, first thing I see is not the umbrella, not the child, not the shadows, but the lines on the ground, the flooring, the grids, and then of course the shadows, the child's shoes. You see the shadow behind the umbrella, then the umbrella, and then you see you know, once again, the repetition of another umbrella. It's hard to make out, but the one behind her. It just all works together, and it's like you're like, okay, where's my eye going? Well, the title says umbrella, so you go back to the umbrella and the silhouette of the little girl because that's what we're looking at. But you have more than one silhouette here. The little girl's shadow, and then another umbrella that's a silhouette with a body. So it's just system overload, but it works fantastically, man. I mean, it is amazing. A little blown out, but I can live with that. I mean, I have no issue with it. Beautiful composition. Who is the maker?
Excuse me. Joanna Valentine, score of 18.
Love it.
I think this is terrific too. My only complaint is, and maybe it's because I'm looking at this on my little bitty phone here. I wish I could see her head more clearly. I've had to really kind of blow this up, and so there is a little bit of highlight, it looks like, on the top of her head. So that's probably, like I said, my problem viewing the way I'm viewing. But and I find that really dark section at the top a little distracting. But I love that silhouette of her behind that umbrella. And I think the shadows just kind of add to the story.
Yes.
Well, I think for my money, I think cropping out everything else but the little girl and the umbrella.
Bingo. I agree.
It's a more powerful picture because then it would cut out, and the ground is so bright, and that as Trish just said, that top dark was kind of distracting. But I think if it cropped it out, so with her shoes and her hair sticking up above the umbrella, but the main thing, of course, is her shadow or silhouette on the inside of the umbrella. It's so cool. That is really such a.
So we're talking a vertical shot?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. You could cut off, you know, not quite 2/3 of the whole left-hand side and a vertical of her and that umbrella. And I think honestly, if you just highlighted a little bit along the top of her head so you really got that silhouette, I think it's a super image that way. Because like I said, and it may be, you know, just the fact that I'm seeing her the way I am on my screen, but I lose her a little bit in that dark top. But I think Steve's right. That story is on her. And the other shadow, while it's interesting, is distracting. And so is that piece of block or whatever that is on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
It takes away from the story. She's
I
the
agree.
the deal for me.
Okay, well, negative space on the left or cropped tightly with her?
Up tightly with
I
it.
would, I
I
would do
would
a
do tightly.
16, I would do a 16 by 9 vertical. Come all
I don't
the way
know about the
down to
dimensions,
her
but I would
feet
go,
to get the, just that third of the frame vertically down
yeah, I
and
would just
catch
go
her
vertical.
shadow on the ground.
Yeah,
I'd
But
want,
the silhouette of her on the umbrella is fantastic.
yeah,
yeah.
I would want negative space behind her because if it's too close to that umbrella, I think it's too
It's too crowded.
too tight, yes.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't go too tight either. That's why I said not quite 2/3 of it needs to be,
Gotcha.
because I agree with you. It needs some space on the left. But I think that whole section with the other shadow and that other
Yeah.
piece of granite or whatever that is over there in the corner on the left-hand side, they don't add anything to the story.
Good eye.
As fun as, yeah,
I missed that. I did miss that.
yeah, I think she's the story.
Yes.
All right, yeah, I missed that. I just got so carried away with the shadows there.
Well, and the shadows are fun.
Yeah.
Other,
That's all.
That's it?
That's it.
so that's all, folks.
Das is das.
Well, I enjoyed what I
Right.
saw.
Yeah, the red line
Nice work, everybody.
and
Yeah,
The
recording.
red line was just really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks to the judges. Appreciate your time and your efforts. And
All right, thanks everybody for joining us. Anybody have questions? Feel free to ask.
Well, I've recorded it, so you can see it. You can browse through the things that you
Oh.
missed in the
I'll do
beginning.
that.
And of course, the big thing to remind everybody is that the education meeting is going to be our end of the year.
Awards, that's right.
At Casa Sol.
That's on May 4th, Thursday. I also wanted to let everybody know that I got some great response, thank you, to the email about Russell Graves. And it looks like on my polling here, like the majority is to have a Zoom meeting. So I emailed him today and I'll let you know what we come with. I know he mentioned to me before that June and July were real busy for him. So I don't anticipate us having anything before August, but I'll keep you posted as I hear from him.
Okay.
And Trish, do you know how you're going to handle the restaurant? Or is everybody paying individually? Or they?
Oh, you mean for the awards dinner?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, probably. Probably that will be the case. As everybody pays for the dinner. We don't have as much money as we used to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's probably the case. I can talk to Susie about that, but that's my guess at this point. The other thing I have been doing is calling to see if we wanted to have a space to meet somewhere for any kind of education night, or even just so we could meet regularly in person. I've been checking around for places that will do that. I've not been successful so far, but just letting you guys know I'm kind of just seeing what's available in case we want to meet again personally. I don't know if anybody wants to do that or not, but the other option is, because I know we all kind of like to get together, even if it's not on a meeting night, is maybe set up for once a month having a coffee or whatever. Just some things I'm chewing on. So I'm throwing that out there. But I'll keep you posted if I have anything to add.
All righty. Okay,
What
guys.
Well,
happened to
Denise
meeting at
mentioned that
Cromwell's?
she has a
Yes, she did.
room. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if it would be, I mean, if we wanted to regularly have meetings. I mean, I have no idea if there's any interest in that at all. If we wanted to meet again in person, or if we just really prefer having, a Zoom meeting when we're not competing. And that's just something we probably should figure out, but I have no idea if that would be on the regular. But I do want to see if we've got a place to do some sort of, if we have a demonstration, pardon me, or a visitor, we've got some place to hold that. And as I said, I've called a number of libraries in the area. Most of them have a room available, but it's for rent by the hour. So it would cost us, $50 every time we met, which could get expensive real fast. So, it would probably be okay for a particular event, but, we just have to see how that went. But there are a couple of libraries. I know the John Igo Library off of Bandera, and also the Maverick Library. Both of them have meeting rooms available for rent, 2-hour maximum, $20 an hour. So, yeah, I'm checking around. There are other community centers, in town that do different things. So I just started my search. If I come up with something, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So, anything else, anybody?
That's it.
Well, we had 12 people at the meeting. That was pretty good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do we need to RSVP for the,
For the awards dinner?
Dinner?
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so. I don't think so.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll need to send out something because it's just in a couple weeks.
Right. Yeah, I'll make myself a note. Sorry, I'm in the dark here.
Do we have
so-
everybody's email here so we can send out a reminder?
Yeah, I
I'm
send out the
pretty sure we
reminders, so
do.
I have
Yeah,
everybody's email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I
So I
just
just need to
recently,
know what to say and at what time and how it's gonna work and who's gonna
Okay.
pay for what and what,
Gotcha.
all that kind of stuff.
All right.
yeah. Yeah, I'll get with you in the next couple days, Peter, about that, okay?
Okay. Perfect.
And we'll
Perfect.
make that happen. That'd be great.
Mhm.
Also, I just want to mention, oh, no, never mind. I don't really have that complete yet. Okay, any other thoughts or questions?
No, sir. No, ma'am.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, then I'm looking forward to seeing all your faces soon.
All right.
In 2 weeks.
All right. Yeah, we'll see you in May.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
and
good
thank
night.
you, Steve. Thank you, Steve, for taking care of those awards. I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Good night, everyone.
I
All right,
think
good
All
night.
right, good night, all.
Good night.
Everyone take care of yourselves.
All
Thank
right.
you very much, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye-bye.